We haven't heard from Speedo in the Roadster in a while. Speedo?
Stinko. Stinko in the Roadster. Oh, those crazy boys are at it again. It's us.
I think Speedo would be a funny name for a...
You just don't want Stinko to be in the name.
I think Speedo would be funny for a radio man. I mean, what happened was, in my mind, obviously, the Roadster equates with speed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew one of them ended with an O, and here we are. And that's
but you forgot about that good stink.
And hey everybody, welcome back to Rebootleggers. It's a comedy podcast. Some might call it an arts and culture podcast.
They wouldn't be right.
This is where reboots happen. The two of us together reboot things that some might say should not be rebooted, and
most.
Who's to say? I'm a co-host, Scott Owen.
I'm the other one, Frank Serra.
And big weekend, Frank, for magical practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
What with that eclipse?
Yeah, the solar eclipse is gonna make it's gonna turn off the Fire Lord's firebending.
That is a thing that I've actually been thinking about for real. And if that's a thing, how come firebenders can bend at nighttime?
Yeah, it's not amazing.
It don't make no sense. The day of the Black Sun, we're calling it,
look out. So this is probably the first time. This is episode 40, I believe. Is that right, Scott?
Correct.
So we actually do have a Twitter suggestion.
Oh, what?
This one comes from at Real Tony the Tiger.
Oh god.
Wow, that's a big Twitter account. Let's see. He suggests start your day off right with a balanced breakfast. No, this is an ad. I'm sorry.
You're just scrolling through your Twitter feed, aren't you?
This is just a plug for Kellogg's cereal.
So Frank, I just want to clarify. I want to make sure that you understand. When you go to Twitter, all the tweets you see aren't necessarily directed at you.
Oh, wait.
Like those aren't
just they don't send things to me and then I read them like email.
Those aren't your internet friends like shouting at you.
So everyone's just shouting at everyone.
Correct. Those are your internet friends shouting at the internet.
I can't imagine that stays around for much longer.
Well, it's been around for almost, holy shit, 10 years.
It just seems like short Facebook. It's a fad.
It's a fad. Only time will tell. So, as we both know, weird things can happen during an eclipse, Frank. And and one of the things you got to watch out for.
Oh, hold on, Scott. Hold on. There's a fly in my room.
Well, one of the things you got to watch out for is.
Damn. Okay, hold on a sec. Oh wait. Oh, the fly's gone. Scott, this fly in my room. I killed it, but it looks like a man. It looks like Jeff Goldblum.
Well, and one of the things you got to watch out for during this full eclipse that's happening on Monday is. You want to make sure that you're not in contact with any animals when the eclipse happens, or else your DNA will be melded.
You'll get the flied.
Which
that's what the science company calls it. So we're gonna do the classic body horror film, The Fly, this week.
Body horror could be
body horror.
I mean, that's just my state of existence.
Mm-hmm. I'm almost always horrified of my own body.
I finally weighed myself on the scale after 2 months of living in denial about what I was doing to my body, and now I've got some harsh truths to face. But so all that to say is, I do think it is time. Now I'm looking at this list from a website with 124 movie remakes and reboots in the works, and The Fly apparently is in negotiations to make that happen. So I do think we might want to get out ahead of this just in case, get our TM right on there so that they can't sweep this out from under us.
I'm a fan.
So what do we know about The Fly? I know that it's Jeff Goldblum.
So it was originally, I think, a 50s movie that we're just probably not really going to touch.
Really? This will be the second time it has been remade. The third.
Yeah.
Making.
Well, there's also the original 50s movie was a trilogy.
1958.
Yeah. So in that movie doesn't have the good work of David Cronenberg performing the monster transformation.
Oh, that is the Cronenberg.
Now, the 1980s flick, that was Jeff Goldblum. He was a science man. I think he was studying teleportation. I'm pretty sure that's his teleportation.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's
so
not
he has,
actually
like, teleport
studying
pods.
fly stuff.
Yeah, and then he's like testing it, and he doesn't realize that there's a fly also in the pod.
Uh-huh.
So then he teleports, and they like mix, and he gets his DNA mixed with fly DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the course of the movie, he transforms into like a man-sized fly monster.
Yeah, he's got acid vomit, and he impregnated a lady.
Yeah.
And they call him, his name is Seth Brundle, which is a very funny name to me.
That's a pretty good name.
And they call him the Brundlefly, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Brundlefly. Also, the original took place in Canada.
Oh. Good for them.
Good for them. So yeah, when he first comes out of the pod, like, it doesn't seem like anything's wrong with him, and then he gets some increased strength, stamina, and sexual potency, which he believes.
Then there's the impregnation.
Yeah, so he bangs, and then he's really into sugar, and then he gets.
He starts to get gross.
Yeah, he starts to get gross.
And he gets like crazy fly limbs and.
Yeah, he goes to a bar and gets in an arm wrestle.
Yeah, so basically, most of the rest of the movie is just him becoming grosser and grosser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then he dies at the end. They kill him. I think they have to kill him at the end.
Yeah, they
'cause he just goes nuts.
It's gross. So,
Yeah.
What can we do with this?
So flies are gross. I don't like flies.
They eat poop.
Yeah, and they have all the hairs on the eyes.
Oh, so many hairs and eyes.
Ugh, the eyes. I don't.
Anything with more than like, I don't know.
He didn't grow wings, I think, which was a big mistake.
Yeah, he couldn't even fly.
Yeah, like what's the deal? It's called The Fly. He spends the entire time on the ground. He doesn't even get on a plane.
He doesn't even get on a plane. He never flies once in this movie. Oh, God, he's so gross. I'm looking at pictures of him. Oh, it's so gross.
I don't want it to be gross. Can we not make a horror movie?
Yeah, no, let's turn this into, I don't know, like a feel-good. Now, hold up. Hold up. I think we should... 1958 Fly is infinitely better.
Let me just go ahead and do this Google search and add 1958. Now, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a man wearing a lab coat with a fly's head and a big claw.
Yeah. So
Almost
this is
adorable.
less of a gross morph than a man wearing a very large fly helmet.
Yeah. He looks like a Venonat. I like the poster. Once it was human, even as you and I. She had to kill the thing her husband had become. But could she? For your own good, we urge you not to see it alone. The monster created by Adams gone wild. God, old movie posters are the best. I'm trying to read what happens in the original. Okay, it is. He is also working on a teleporter. And it's called the Disintegrator Integrator.
Oh, good.
It's a matter transporting device called the Disintegrator Integrator. This might have been before the word teleport was invented.
Might have been 1958.
Okay, so I do think we go with this, like... We take, like, a more cuddly, fluffy angle to the Fly.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and Google cutest animals list ever. A definitive ranking of the cutest animals by BuzzFeed.
Oh, do they know?
So here's a I'll give you 3 tries to guess number 1.
Koala.
No.
Is it a mammal?
It is a mammal. Not one that I would consider especially cute.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Much bigger than a bread box.
Elephant.
Close, but almost.
Hippopotamus.
A little farther away.
Damn it. The tapir.
Now that is the fourth guess. The BuzzFeed's number one cutest animal ever would be the giraffe.
What? Now hold up. How are elephants close to giraffes?
They both live on the plains, Scott.
Oh, of course, the plains. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with BuzzFeed on this one.
The other ones, though, I obviously agree with: piglets, polar bears, pandas, kittens, puppies, otters.
Oof, very good. I would say that the number one spot should go to something akin to a koala, maybe a baby hippopotamus.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Baby anything is almost cheating.
That's true. It's got to stay cute through adulthood. Now, my question is, what does this have to do with the fly? Are you trying to combine the fly with a cute animal?
I want our nightmare man to be cuddly.
Oh, I think we just make like a cuddly fly.
Okay, yeah, like a
like a butterfree.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, like one of those beautiful moths whose the wings are all colors. But so many eyes. Oh.
Well, you could just have two very big, very adorable eyes.
Just huge people eyes.
No, not huge people eyes, because I think that would be off-putting.
Wings, though.
Wings for sure. For sure, wings.
All right, so he's one of these, like, Atlas moth, is that a thing?
Are we looking for an actual cute moth? I was thinking we just make it still a fly and just make him a cute bug.
Oh, just make him adorable.
Yeah. He's still got to be the fly.
So he's cute the fly.
We're not calling it the moth.
Yeah, well, and Mothman's something else already, so.
Yeah, it's about a monster?
Yeah, it's a monster that comes to your house and takes you at night.
But you never actually see the Mothman?
I think you do. I think if you see him outside, it means he's marked your house, I think is the way it works. So, teleporter still, or ancient magic? How are we gonna flip this?
Yeah, well, so what's the... It's not a horror anymore, so what is it? Is it like...
No. So I think that
Are we going like rom-com, having to deal with being a Mothman? Are we going just like just a day in the life, not even necessarily rom-com, just like a movie about a guy who's a moth? Or about a fly, and he's like trying to just...
going for like an Octodad, like how does this guy live his life?
What's an Octodad?
Octodad is a pretty popular game in which you are an octopus man.
Oh, right.
That doesn't have human limbs.
And your family doesn't notice that you're an octopus.
Your family doesn't realize that you're not an octopus man, and you have to keep your cover by doing normal household tasks.
But it's very hard because you got a billion limbs.
Controls are very frustrating because you're an octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what's an Octomom? I've heard of Octomom.
Oh.
Is it a mom who's just had 8
Octomom is
babies?
a monster that birthed octuplets.
It's a monster?
Aliens.
It's not just a regular mom?
No, it was 8 alien babies, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Okay. What if Okay, so the fly, could he go...
So what if it's like you know how in the movie Ted, like they do the thing where like everybody was amazed for like 6 months, but then it just became normal?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like that.
Yeah, and so like the government's not trying to study him.
Yeah, well, they did, and they were just like, yeah, you're boring. We can't do this again. We don't know how you happened.
Yeah, we don't know how you happened.
But so now he's just, he went to college. He got a degree in, like business economics, probably.
Communications.
9 to 5.
Communications major.
Communications. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he works a 9 to 5
at his radio job. He's one of the few people who got a communications degree and also got a job in communications.
Mm.
Could he be? Is he part of a? Is he half of a 2-man morning radio show? Stinko and the Roadster.
Okay, we can be a little self-referential.
His name
Stinko? Is still Seth Brundle, I think, because that's a hilarious name.
Yeah, but he's also a fly, so he goes by Stinko.
He goes by Stinko, and he's okay with it, I think. I mean, I think like once in the movie, we make a joke about how like his lunch is poop.
His lunch is poop.
His lunch is poop, but like we don't show.
Yeah, no. It's just like in the morning when like a dog poops on his yard, instead of him getting like mad at the owner, he just like walks out. He says
like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
Like, thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, and Jerry's like, "Hey, no problem, Seth Brundle, Brundlefly."
And then he just goes out and goes to town. Well, I mean, he goes out. We assume to go to town on it, but we don't show.
Well, he just puts it in his lunchbox and then he walks to work.
Oh, he just scoops it up. That's a good visual.
I think you don't necessarily see him scoop it up. You just
Yeah. He goes out with some Tupperware and then he puts that Tupperware in his lunchbox. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's not clear.
Yeah, that's it. Tupperware.
Yeah. So, what is he? Is he actually on the radio? I imagine his voice has got to be a little bit. One of those.
What do you think? Yeah, give me some fly, Frank. What do you think his voice sounds like?
Does he zoos? Hey, everybody's every time he's not saying words, he's going zzz.
You know, I think that tracks pretty perfectly with our current state of morning radio.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, he's, calling people, he's having people call in to get, he's like happy, but then he goes home and...
Yeah. I mean, he's not wildly happy. He's content.
Right. He's just regular guy.
Yeah. He just does him. Does he have wings? He has wings, right?
He's got wings. Can he use them?
I think he can't, soar in the sky like a bird.
He can hover like 6 inches.
But he can hover a little bit. Yeah.
He can lift himself 6 inches off of whatever he's upon.
Yeah. Like he doesn't ever need a step stool.
Yeah.
And I think people often ask him to get things off of shelves in the office.
Well, so here's my question about hovering. If he can hover 6 inches, if he stands on a coffee table and he hovers, he's 6 inches off the coffee table. But then if he were to go past the coffee table, will he retain his current level, or will he fall down to 6 inches above the floor?
I think of it less as indefinite hovering and more of an assisted jump.
Oh, okay. I like the assisted jump.
Yeah.
He's pretty...
Where he can jump and use his wings to gain a couple seconds of hang time, and then he's got to land again.
He's got good slam dunks.
Yeah. He's really good at slam dunks. I think he's part of a like men's 30 over basketball league. Yeah.
You mean men
like
over
he's
30?
Got a life,
men over
right?
30 basketball league?
Yeah. You know how there's the over 30s and then the under 30s.
There's the over 30 basketball.
Yeah. Because then once you turn 30, your bones and everything, so you need to be in the over 30 basketball league.
Now, how's that different from a 30 over basketball league?
A 30 over basketball league, there's no cap.
Okay. It's just everybody has to be over basketball.
Yeah, or over 30, either or.
Or is it like 30 dudes?
If you're younger than 30 but don't care about basketball, you're still over so you're still in.
Now, when we say over basketball, is it just like,
too cool to care, but you still show up.
You still show up to your group that says you're over basketball, and your group specifically exists to express your disinterest in basketball.
Yes, and that means you're still in the bracket though. So then you play the over 30s in basketball.
That makes sense. That checks out.
Yeah. So Seth Brundle's he's in a men's 30 over basketball league. He has his 9 to 5. Does he have any love interest at all? Like, is there a?
I think he just has a girlfriend. I think he's just already dating.
Successfully. So, I want to ask you, what's the conflict? I was imagining that finding a girlfriend would be a conflict.
Yeah, and I know that's what you were imagining, and I wanted to stay away from that. I think that's a little cliched. I think maybe the conflict, we're
all about originality.
Maybe the radio station is in a pledge drive, or the station's going to get shut down.
They need $30,000.
Maybe it's a basketball tournament against another radio station.
Okay. Oh, Scott.
We do a little bit of a dodgeball situation where instead of gyms, it's
but here's
radio
the thing,
stations.
Scott. This other radio station, they've got
the roadster.
They've got a ringer.
They got a ringer. Do they have the roadster?
No, Scott. They've got a wolf man.
Why do they have a wolf man?
They've got a teen wolf that plays basketball for them.
Oh, because they're playing basketball. The teen wolf grown up.
Grown up teen wolf who's now just goes by wolf.
Yeah, of course he's not going to go by Teen Wolf.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He's not a teen anymore. So we have Teen Wolf versus The Fly, the basketball match of the century.
Mm-hmm. Good dunks on both sides.
And that's Seth Brundle is The Fly. I think he's not called The Fly. I think he's called like The Fly and Ace.
Now, here's what I need to know. For the Teen Wolf, are we going to get the OG Michael J. Fox, or do we get Jason Bateman? Teen Wolf 2.
I mean, I would like to get Michael J. Fox. I don't know, in what capacity he can actually
I bet we could get
act
him
anymore
both.
with his very sad disease.
He's actually been doing really well. Like in the past few, it was like a few years ago, they found like a really good treatment that has improved him a ton.
Oh man, that's great. I really like him.
I know, I really like him too. This isn't a bit.
Yeah.
This isn't a bit. We're both genuinely happy
really
about
like
Michael J. Fox
as an actor.
Yeah.
Oh man, his like double episode thing in Scrubs.
So good.
God, dude, it was one of the best. Oh.
Did you just get to that point in the Scrubs rewatch you're doing?
No, not yet. I just have fond memories.
Anyway,
yeah, I think we're gonna go for Michael J. Here's the thing.
What if we got
Jason
both?
Bateman already has a lot going on with.
What if we got both?
For him.
What if they got
Let's
both? What if the other radio station has 2 Teen Wolves?
Has 2 Teen Wolves.
Now here's I do want to clarify. In Teen Wolf 2, is Jason Bateman supposed to be playing the same character and it's just a different actor, or is he a straight up different Teen Wolf?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay, well in this they're 2 different Teen Wolves.
They're 2 different Teen Wolves. Yeah. It's just not.
Is it Teen Wolves or Teen Wolves?
Ooh.
Wolves. It's got to be Teen Wolves.
It's got to be Teen Wolves
with an F.
With an F. Yeah. It's got to be.
It's got to be. So maybe is it 2 on 2? Is it a 2-on-2 match?
It's a 2-on-2 tournament.
So how about this?
I just confirmed online. Jason Bateman is the original Teen Wolf's cousin in universe.
Nice.
So that really works out. So in this 2v2, we need man number 4.
That's what. And here's the plot of the movie.
I don't want it to be a second Flyman. I want it to be something.
That's the plot of the movie.
He's got to find a partner.
He's got to find their fourth.
He's got to do the 2v2 30K all city basketball stomp tournament.
30K under 30.
30K 30 and over tournament. $30K dollars. 30 years of age or older or over basketball.
What's his radio? Just real quick, I want to get this out of the way. What's his radio station's call letters?
Can it just be like K-Fly? And that's the only reference you make to flies?
KFLY?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Or it's like KBUZ the Buzz.
Oh, that's much better. KBUZ the Buzz.
I like that a lot.
I love that. And then KHWL the Howl.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's good. All right, so here's the thing. There's other people in this tournament, but I think that they're gonna both. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
We have some cool action.
Yeah, we
have some cool sports balls.
So yeah, it is a 2v2 tournament is it just exclusively radio stations with...
It's the all-city radio station clash-off, I think,
Do they all have monster players?
Do we have enough heat for that?
Are we looking at like... Well, so is it specifically... No, I don't think we do. I think they're all the rest of them. I think that's why these 2 radio stations have this rivalry.
Yeah, it's because they're the only monster stations.
So what's the Roadster like? Because the Roadster must be a normal human. Or is the Fly looking for the Roadster and he finds his Roadster?
I think the Fly's looking for the Roadster. He has a one-man advice show, but he's run out of juice. He's run out of those acidic digestive enzymes that he
Now,
excretes.
Frank, I don't want to, we're not about tooting our own horn here on the Rebootleggers, but, I think I got to ask the question everybody wants to know this answer. Are me and you going to be in this movie?
I think there's going to be a brief cameo at the very end. We will be the ones presenting the giant check.
Okay, so you are not going to play Stinko, and I will not be your Roadster.
No. We're gonna need, and I'm speaking for myself here, but I might also be speaking for you. We are gonna need real actors.
Yeah, you're speaking for just yourself on that one. Okay, so what is the Roadster's deal?
Well, we have to find out, right?
That's what I'm trying to ask you right now. Yeah.
So I think so. Here's the thing. So we've got three people over 30.
Mm-hmm.
Is our fourth monster one of the people who's over basketball?
Oh boy. Do we know of any other movie hybrid creatures?
Movie hybrid creatures. You know, that's a really good question.
Like, are we gonna pull in another movie universe into this, or are we just gonna make up our own man for the Roadster?
I'm gonna do some really quick Alta Vista research.
Is he a roadrunner? Is he half car? Does he just like driving?
Is he a centaur?
A centaur.
Is he a faun or a satyr?
A centaur could be. Ooh, a fawn. Ooh, any of those. I'm actually kind of into.
I feel like satyrs can get that good air.
What's the difference between a satyr and a centaur? I mean, a satyr and a fawn is just like different hooves.
Whether you're Greek or Roman, as far as I know.
Oh, is it still goat feet?
Yes. Oh, well, okay. So I just Wikipedia'd that. I just Googled that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Fawns and satyrs are the same race. Fawns are friendly. Satyrs are evil.
Oh, so he's got to be a satyr then. He's got to be a bad boy
because he's over basketball.
With the name like
care.
and he's over basketball, and with a name like the Roadster, you gotta be a bad boy.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I forgot about the whole roadster thing, and I really feel like a centaur could be a roadster.
You don't think a satyr could be a roadster?
Well, because he has the 4. The centaurs have the 4, and then he runs on the road. And then because he's the roadster, and he get people going on his back.
I was just maybe thinking he's just a satyr who really likes cars, and roadster has nothing to do with him.
Oh, and he's got a lead foot.
Yeah,
because he has the goat feet.
Yeah, one of his hooves is made of lead.
Yeah, because he has the metal hoof attachment.
Sure, I'll give you that one
for driving.
I get it. I'll give that one to you.
Now this raises: is he a were-satyr?
No.
He's
just a
just
satyr.
all the time.
Yeah.
It's 2 permanent monsters versus 2 temporary monsters.
I think technically a satyr would be a were-goat.
Were-goat, yeah. Well, yeah.
Because it's like half human, half goat.
Because you're half people and half the not.
Yeah, and the were means human.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a goof. That's true. All right. So, does he meet the Roadster? Does he hold tryouts?
He holds tryouts, but he doesn't find anyone.
The Roadster shows up. The Roadster shows up to every single tryout, but he just sits in the bleachers, like arms crossed. He just
watches,
sleeping in the corner, glasses, cool sunglasses on, hat down over his face, leather jacket.
Yeah. He's got the little horns coming out of the hat, though.
He's absolutely got horns. Now, does he have ram's horns or like pointy upwards horns?
I think like little pointy upwards ones.
Oh, I really like ram's horns on the side of his head.
I mean, you can have ram horns. You can ask for what you want here.
I want ram's horns.
You got ram's horns.
Yes.
But so he goes through all these, and it's going to be a pretty funny tryout scene, right? There's people that like don't even make the shots. There's people that shoot the basketball like buckets, and then there's just all bad, and he's leaving, and Seth Brundle is like so dejected, and then the Roadster is he's in the bleachers. Well, the future Roadster. What's his name?
Owen Scott.
Do you want? Yeah, we can do that.
I thought no. I mean,
is that what you need?
He's based on me, right?
Yeah. Do we need that to move on, or can we have a name for him?
No, we can have a real name for him. How about
Chester
Cheetah?
Nope.
It's gotta be as good as Seth Brundle.
Rodner Gotry.
Rodner, huh? Now explain to me.
Because then we can call him Rod.
Why don't we just call him Rod? Or
Rod Gotry.
Or
that's pretty
Rodney.
Good. Rodney Gotry.
Rodner's not
that's
a
two
name.
E sounds. Brundle's not a name.
Anything could be a last name, Frank.
All right, so then he's Chuck. He's
Rodner.
Chuck Rodner. Are you happy?
Rodner. Chester. I like Chester better.
Chester Rodner is an Okay, yeah, it's fine.
No, you're right. It is two sounds. I think you have a point there. Chuck Rodner. Chuck Rodner.
So Chuck Rodner's in the stands, and he says, "You know, you're never gonna find anything." Bah.
Is he like heckling and laughing at the tryouts, or is he just sleeping in the corner?
No, he's a heckler. Yes.
Okay.
He's just like, nice shot, ah! And because he laughs, he sounds like a goat.
Yeah, I don't want to lean too heavily into the goat laugh. I think he can do it, but I don't think it should be all the time.
I think that he laughs normally, but one time he completely loses
when he
it and
loses
does the
his
goat
composure.
laugh. Yeah.
And then he kind of like, ugh. Sorry, he like corrects himself. He's a little embarrassed when the goat comes out.
Yeah, he goes, you're never gonna find anybody, and then Seth Brundle is like, what do you mean?
And then he says, well, nobody's very good at basketball.
And he goes, well, you've been what do you think you? And he goes, here's the Rock, champ. Why don't you show me?
And then he, of course, uses those satyr hooves. And
he just gets like a 6-foot vertical leap.
He smashes the glass. He hangs off the rim for like 30 seconds.
He not only shoots a 3-pointer, but while the 3-pointer's in the air, he runs and dunks.
Yes. He runs and dunks. He's very good.
So then the two balls just go in back to back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's an important skill to have during the multi-ball round of every basketball game.
At the very end. Yeah.
Multi-ball. It's my favorite part of watching basketball is when they do the multi-ball.
It's really the only watchable part.
It's very cool when the multi-ball happens.
I usually just sit it out until the bonus round and then watch the multi-ball.
Okay.
So, and then he's like, "You're so good. Like, you got to be on my team, man." So, is Chuck Rodner like retired from basketball, or he just doesn't?
That's how he got his lead foot.
That's how he got his left foot. He broke his ankle. Everyone knows that when you have hooves and you break your ankle, that's not good.
They give you the lead foot.
They give you the lead foot.
And now
that's why he only gets a 6-foot vertical leap right now.
And then, but also, he on the night of the big game, when he was into basketball, he showed up high on driving because he was driving too hard.
Because he was driving so much.
And he likes driving so much. And so that's...
And he drinks gasoline.
Mm-hmm. And so, and then he was drunk during the match.
He was just drunk on octane.
And lost his radio station got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
His radio station being...
And then he had to go to the soup kitchen to get... He couldn't afford food, so he had to go to the soup kitchen and eat the tin cans they used.
Mm-hmm. Does he have sideways goat eyes?
Yes. That's how we can see the trajectory of the ball so good.
Okay, so then Seth Brundle has to basically like convince him to help me save...
Oh, I think he makes like a bet, where it's like, if I beat you in this, you gotta play for me.
Yes, and maybe he reverse psychologies him a bit too. He's like, whatever, you're probably not even very good.
Yeah, you can't even make this 3-pointer.
And then he's like, if I beat you in a game of checkers, you will play basketball with me.
And then he's like, that's a weird sideways case to do that in, but you're on.
Yeah, he chooses like something completely random and unrelated.
And then it's like, it's king me. King me. King me. They end the board somehow with like 5 kings each. Mm-hmm. And then they're just like, checkmate.
All right, so then we get a good... so they win their first match. Then we go to a montage of winning a lot of matches. And we'll say it's a double elimination. And so they
got to have one dramatic.
So then they lose in their first match against the KHWL.
Yeah, against the 2 Teen Wolves. And the Teen Wolves, they're just vibing, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like sniffing, and their ears are like changing directions and stuff.
Yeah, they don't even speak to each other. They just communicate in a series of like...
It's just all wolf signals. Yeah.
And then...
And they just... And they take it to the hoop in a big way. They're not draining 3-pointers, but they're just like beautifully synchronized teamwork, right?
Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous to watch. And
where they're just setting them up, they're knocking them down. The ball's just always where they are, where they're going.
Wipes the court with the fly and...
Yeah, just walks them up and walks them back.
And so then they have a little bit of a falling out because Chuck Rodner's like, I told you we shouldn't have cared.
Yeah, last time I cared, a man died.
And then they have to deal with their issues. They go on like a weekend retreat. Chuck Rodner's old coach shows up and he's like, Coach, I thought you were dead. And he's like, I thought
better.
you were dead. And then
After the incident,
and then the coach trains them how to find.
It happened. I thought you were done basketball forever.
Yeah, and then the coach like takes them to a cabin in the mountains and teaches them to look within and unlock their
and to shoot the ball with their heart.
And unlock their heart potential. Yeah, they
have
craft
to be blindfolded, but they have to keep passing the ball to each other.
They craft like a basketball court in the woods. It's like the hoop is made of like branches and stuff.
And they just dominate it.
And they do very good. And then they're like, and then the coach is like,
do they play against ghosts?
No. I think they just play some 1v1.
They just play 1v1.
You truly don't know your teammate until you've played against them. Until
you've won against them.
Mm-hmm. And been beaten by them.
Until you've won against yourself and they play their own reflection.
What are they playing on, like, Samhain?
Yeah.
The veil is thin.
They play their shadow selves in basketball 2v2, and they have to beat themselves to beat others.
They play their shadow selves for sure.
Yeah, and their shadow selves are doing stuff like their shadows know their greatest fears and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So they just he shoots the rock, and the shadow goat is just like, they'll never love you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time they score a goal, the shadow gets weaker.
Mm-hmm.
And then they win, and then the shadows go like, no.
Yeah, the shadows explode.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's daytime.
Yes.
And then they hop a flight back to home. LA? Yeah, LA's good.
Maybe LA.
We don't want weather getting involved in any of the plot.
Yeah. Okay, so then So then
they go to the finals.
They go back to the finals. So they beat the other teams they have to beat to get to the finals. They get to the finals.
Yeah, we just...
Wolves, Howl versus Buzz. It is a very intense match. Lots of back and forth. Close game.
Mm-hmm. Final, it's like 10 seconds left, and the score is like 242 to 242.
Yes, and then they score with an amazing with a free throw. Very anticlimactic ending.
Yeah, they just get fouled bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, line it up.
And then, do they make friends with the Wolves at the end?
I think the Wolves go on all fours and like run away.
Mm.
Tails between their legs.
At one point, one of the Wolves gets knocked down in an accidental foul, and like Chuck Radnor puts his hand out to try to pick him up.
And the Wolf spits on him.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
So it's like, I don't need your goat hands, and then gets up.
Yeah. But so then they save the station, and Stinko and the Roadster is born. He's like, hey.
And they're gonna ride. And he says, you know what I always wanted to do was give advice on the radio.
How would you...
They're in the locker room afterwards.
How would you like to come join me at the radio station and do morning traffic and give advice?
And I think I care now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's cut it.
And print it.
And ship it. Put it in a pizza pouch.
Thank you. That was the last one.
That's the last one. That you always forget those.
Really out of practice.
I don't understand how you forget them. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to everyone who has given us a rating and review on iTunes. That really helps us out. If you could please continue. If you like the show, just, maybe tell a friend about it, or tell your mom.
Or tell an enemy about it. Enemies are friends that haven't happened yet.
Tell an enemy you hate it, and then they'll go listen to it out of spite.
Yeah.
We'd love that.
If you have an appointment with a medical professional, tell them about the show.
Tell your doctor about it for sure. And the dental hygienist. Just tell everybody about it.
Anyone you meet.
We've got a Twitter at Rebootleggers. You can follow us. And we're not super active on Twitter, but, that could change.
Could be.
That could change. Until next time, I'm Scott Owen.
And I'm Frank Serra.
Frank, what's our password for next week?
Our password for next week is...
Pretty good.